fool me, we can't get fooled again.
In Dallas, Texas, 3 shots were fired at President Kennedy's motorcade in downtown Dallas.
December 7th, 1941, a date which will live in infamy.
You don't know what you're talking about, do you?
Because people have got to know whether or not their president's a crook. Well, I'm not a crook. I've earned everything I've got.
If you don't like what we tell you to believe in, we'll kill you.
All right, kids. Listen. Podcast,
Don't listen to this.
if you're not of age.
What's of age?
Of age is like you can make your own decisions in life without parental guidance. 18,
16?
18. We're not in Atlanta.
Georgia is 16.
We're not in Atlanta. That's what I said. We're not in Atlanta. This is 18 and up. Look,
Atlanta.
we're a bunch of dudes, and we're going to say some really bad words, and probably some things that might offend you. But
Don't listen to this.
can't wait till you listen.
Yeah, don't.
If
do
you're
it.
18 and up.
Don't do it.
If you're 18 and up.
Yeah. Hey guys, welcome back to the Conspiracy Podcast. This is Chappaquiddick Part 2.
Meanwhile,
Living his life.
His life.
Meanwhile, Mary Jo Kopechne is like
Yeah.
deteriorating at the
Yeah.
bottom of the pond.
Like, what did it say? He was willing her to be alive?
Yeah.
So Mary Jo's body was removed from the pond at 8:55 a.m. on July 19th.
By the cops, I guess, right?
Yeah. The cops were called and the coroner.
So,
and,
but who reported it? Does it say?
Yeah, so there was a man and a child who went fishing.
Oh my God.
And they went fishing, and then they saw the car.
Yes,
The
that's
car
what you
was-
said, right?
the-
It was sticking out of the water.
Yeah, it was the butt of the car, I guess you would call it, or the back of the car. Was, yeah. So
That
without
definitely looks fishy. Like,
It's
it's like
no
let
pun
me
intended.
call somebody.
no
that a
pun
car?
intended there. So without conducting a full examination or even looking at the entire body, the medical examiner on the scene determined that she had drowned. John Farrar.
Without doing it outside, they're like, "Yep, she's drowned."
Yeah.
100%.
But here's what's
I know there's bruises around her neck, but
Here's what's interesting is John Farrar, which is the rescue diver who was called to the scene, and he oversaw the car removal from the pond and the body, noted that there were many air bubbles that were rising from it. And the Oldsmobile trunk was nearly free of water entirely.
whoa.
This, as well as the position of the body that was in the car, and it suggested to many that Kopechne had been breathing in an air pocket for some time before she died.
Oh fuck!
Wow.
So she was alive. How the dude? Okay.
Yes.
See, something about that's not right.
Right.
Exactly.
It's upsetting
How
too.
did, no, but
Upsetting. And
how
all
did
this.
how did he manage to get out of the car, but then she magically can't get out? I don't think he was ever in the car. I don't think. He
Wait,
was
what?
Ever, I don't think he was ever in the car.
It's an interesting theory.
I think he was in the car, but I think he might have.
Scooted out.
Yeah,
or-
she's like, "You drunk? Shut up." Push the car off.
Okay.
so the
I
mortician.
mean, I never thought about that, but
That's it. I actually like that. I'm going to bring that up. I'm going to come full
Dude,
circle.
I
on,
actually,
like,
Okay.
I
I got
have
a couple of
I have a
things.
new theory
Yes.
that I've just
Okay.
formulated.
I dig it
Yeah.
actually. Yeah. So the mortician examined the body and found that it contained far less water than most of the drowning victims that they've.
Yeah, usually when you drown,
There
your
is, yeah,
lungs are
tons of water.
completely full of water.
So Farrar, who is the diving person, he agreed that she likely did not drown, but that she suffocated.
Oh, because once you breathe all the usable oxygen, you're
Yes.
breathing carbon
So if you have a
dioxide.
small pocket
Oh,
Yeah.
and
okay.
you're there for an hour,
You're just breathing carbon dioxide, and then
Yeah,
you'll die
exactly.
of suffocation.
Yep.
Fuck, that's a way worse way to go.
yeah, that's worse.
that sucks.
shit.
That's
super
because you're
shitty.
terrified.
It's really shitty.
And you think you're gonna live, but then you just die anyway.
I know.
Just die anyway. Sorry.
That's the worst.
So now, fast forward 15 minutes. By 9:15 in the morning of July 19th, Kennedy, Gargan, and Markham were standing together on the ferry landing on Chappaquiddick. They saw the tow truck, and they were being asked by a ferry operator if they heard about the accident of Mary Jo Kopechne.
Who's that? Never heard of her. Sounds like a great gal.
So that finally was the one thing that moved Kennedy to go, I need to report this to the police.
Oh, really? 18 hours later?
I'm caught.
She's like, that looks like my Oldsmobile.
So this is what Kennedy said to Gargan and Markham. He said, look, I don't want you people in the middle of this thing. I'm not going to involve you. As far as you know, you didn't know anything about the accident that night.
Oh, cool. Let me already implicate you by making you swim to get her.
Yeah.
Oh,
come
you
on
didn't.
now.
You didn't know anything.
This guy,
This
right?
guy's
Look
a
away.
piece
Just
of
look
shit.
away.
Guy.
This guy sucks.
Okay, good. So then this guy puts out a written statement. You ready?
Mary Jo.
So he says, I'm gonna just plow through this, right? He types up a written statement with Markham and Gargan. And he says, on July 18th, 1969, at approximately 11:15,
He left the party at 11:40.
I know.
What the fuck?
11:50 p.m. in Chappaquiddick, Martha's Vineyard. I was
It
driving
is
my
Martha's
car.
Vineyard. All right, I knew of
Yes.
I was driving my car on Main Street on my way to get the ferry back to Edgartown. I was unfamiliar with the road, and I turned right onto Dyke Road instead of bearing left on Main Street. After proceeding for approximately 1/2 mile on Dyke Road, I descended a hill and I came upon a narrow bridge. The car went off the side of the bridge. There was one passenger with me, one Miss Mary Jo, and he couldn't pronounce her name right.
Mary Jo Kopechne.
He literally couldn't pronounce it. He said Mary Jo Kopechne.
Capitulation.
Yes. And then he just says, a former secretary of my brother, Senator Robert Kennedy. The car turned over and sank into the water and landed with the roof resting on the bottom. I attempted to open the door and the window of the car, but have no recollection of how I got out of the car. I came to the surface and then repeatedly dove down to the car in an attempt to see if the passenger was still in the car. I was unsuccessful in the attempt. I was exhausted and in a state of shock. I recall walking back to where my friends were eating. There was a car parked in front of the cottage. I climbed into the back seat. I then asked for someone to bring me back to Edgartown. I remember walking around for a period and then going back to my hotel room. When I fully realized what had happened this morning, I immediately contacted the police.
Oh my God. Oh my God. Dude, everything about that story is so full of shit. The timeline.
That is his statement,
I love
please.
he goes back to where my friends were eating. What, eating? It's like, they
It's
were fucking
honestly, it's one of the
partying.
worst statements I've ever heard.
I immediately contacted the police after my brunch in conversation with my good friend and mimosas.
It's honestly one of the stupidest statements I've ever seen.
The worst.
Yeah.
It's just a lie. The whole thing's a lie. Oh my
So
God.
okay, so he does the statement, and then what happens is Kennedy returns to his family's compound in Hyannisport.
Their compound, which is a compound.
It's Camelot.
It's
It's
ridiculous.
the spot, right?
Where we're at?
Hyannisport.
Hyannisport.
Yeah. So then he brings in the bigwigs. Okay, he brings in Stephen Smith, McNamara, Sorensen, Goodwin, Billings, Burke, Culver, Tooney, Gargan, Markham, all these guys. They arrive to advise him on what to do. Basically, these are the top tits of the
Top
PR.
tits.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
The political whatever, right? And they're called the master fixers and the business managers. So he brought together all these big wigs to determine the PR control and the damage control,
Of
et cetera,
course.
of what to do. This
Still
is
gonna be
their,
president.
Yeah.
This is the Kennedy golden boy, the only one left.
Well, he's not. He's the golden boy by default.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, exactly, correct. Yeah, that's right. So their main problem was how to protect him from actual charges of manslaughter.
Oh yeah,
Of
because that
course.
that ruins his entire political career.
Yes.
Any form of office.
Okay, so a crazy thing that most people don't know, and I think that Ted Kennedy just got really lucky, is that when this happened, so Chappaquiddick, the whole incident happened on July 18th and 19th, okay?
Okay.
We landed on the moon on July 20th.
Ooh.
So this guy's out partying while this
Yes.
Like men are getting launched into fucking the
Yes.
void of space. Like,
So just imagine the news cycle that happens on Monday.
oh yeah,
Oh
they're
my
like
God.
the moon.
Yes. So it's just buried. It's a buried incident.
And we've seen this a lot, like present
Yes.
time in the last, let's say, few years, right? That,
Yeah.
that happens a lot. It's like, hey, look over here while this other thing's
Yes.
happening.
Oh, look at what happened this recently. They're like, aliens are actually real. We're actually on board now. And like, meanwhile, like
There's a balloon.
every like chicken factory on the planet's like light on fire, and they're like, look at the aliens, look up, look at the aliens.
Yeah. It's so true. But it's weird. I'm not saying that they planned the moon to happen while Chappaquiddick. No, I'm not saying that. I'm more just saying he got lucky. I guess like the universe is
it's
aligned.
either that or Ted was like, I got 2 days of the moon landing. He's like, might as well make a move on my assistant.
No, and then you know what sucks for Ted? I don't want to say it sucks. It sucks for everybody. Like that was a moment in history, a major moment. And so Monday, he's just purely stressing out. He just left a girl in the water.
I mean,
And then his brother put the Apollo program there. And it was a major win for Kennedy's, honestly.
I just want to say, I don't think he was stressing out that bad over his fucking mimosas and eggs Benny. That's true. Like he seemed pretty fucking relaxed.
That's true.
He had like a fucking bath bomb, fucking bath. Like he was pretty fucking chilling.
So true. I'm still mad at him.
I know, piece of shit.
I know.
God damn it. It's so annoying.
Stupid.
I know.
About 6 days later, he does a televised statement. It's very lengthy. It was written by Sorensen. It was broadcast to everybody.
Lawyer?
It's
what?
kind of like the PR guy,
yeah,
like
okay.
you know, as part of his
It's like,
dream
it's
team.
like his publicist.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah, just imagine
Okay.
like OJ's dream team. Same thing, but back in the 60s.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
That's a plug for our OJ episode coming up.
Mm-hmm.
You guys need to
yeah.
tune in.
Yeah, coming to a household near you.
So the televised statement is interesting and it's something that you should watch. We're not going to go over it now, but it's something that you should watch. It's very robotic and it's very scripted.
Yeah, he's just reading.
Yeah, he's like,
And he,
Like,
I, Ted,
he just said, you know, his wife didn't come because of reasons of health.
yeah, oh,
Yes.
Yes.
No, and he said he was not engaged in any immoral conduct.
oh, come on.
I mean,
now.
so pretty much you're telling me is, so Ted Kennedy is Bill Clinton 25, 30 years prior.
I did
Yes.
not have
Sexual
relations
Relationship with that woman.
Look, she came on to me.
Yeah. I mean, the speech is interesting to watch, and you know we'll put it on Instagram, and you know
Yeah, you
people
guys
can
check it out.
see it, but it's very formulaic. And,
Twitter,
you know,
Yeah.
YouTube.
all the things, but it's very formulaic, and it's very obviously written, and it doesn't really add
Well, it's
more
actually
to
like
the story.
Like
other
he
than
didn't.
he's just denying everything.
Yeah,
just saying-
it's just him reading
Yes.
what they told him to read, and that's
Yeah.
what it looks like and
Yes,
sounds like.
exactly.
It's when
But-
when Biden read that speech and he was like, "Period."
And, yeah.
Repeat statement
You mean every speech?
on the teleprompter.
But at the end of it, he basically says, because he's a senator, right?
Yeah.
So
Oh,
he's
yeah.
an active senator.
Right.
So he basically says at the end, he says, if at any time the citizens of Massachusetts should lack confidence in their senator's character or his ability, with or without justification, he could not, in my opinion, adequately perform his duties and should not continue in office. So he's basically saying, if you think I should resign, let me know.
Yeah. I'll let your boy. I'll dip.
So that's him trying to,
I think for him, that was
Trying-
his way of being.
Yeah, exactly.
Don't put me in prison. I'll just like step down
If you-
if you
you know,
think so. Only if you think so.
Yeah.
I think I'm cool.
I'm
But
cool.
if you think I'm bad, I'll step down.
I don't want to.
Like, yeah, I like
if
this.
you agree and you think that this looks
Yeah.
bad, I
My-
mean,
my
like,
dad would-
I'll resign.
Right.
My dad
It's
would
up
be
to you.
super pissed about it, but I'll do it. Look, I'll do it.
So essentially, that's the story. I mean, there's a couple other points to go over, but that's the story of Mary Jo Kopechne, and you know.
Let me tell you right now that he killed Mary Jo Kopechne.
Dude,
That's my take
Just
right there.
right out of
Right,
the gate.
like, just
Let's
facts.
just,
like,
So
like,
I'm gonna give you a couple
bro.
other. I'm gonna give you a couple other things, right? I'm gonna give you a couple other things. So Farrar, which is the diver,
okay.
he
Yeah.
testified later,
Right.
and he said the following. He said it looked as if she was holding herself up to get the last breath of air.
Fuck. That's
Damn.
so bad.
It was a consciously assumed position. She did not drown. She died of suffocation in her own air void. It took her at least 3 or 4 hours to die.
Oh my god.
Dude, they could have saved her like a million times.
This part is the saddest part. Ready? I could have had her out of the car 25 minutes after I got the call, but I didn't get a call.
Oh my god. That's not manslaughter, bro. That's murder one.
Yeah.
That's such negligence.
It's
of,
murder
like,
one.
100%,
It's murder one
right?
because he knowingly didn't communicate that she was there.
Yeah.
So he allowed her to die.
Right.
Oh, dude, he goes, that's life in prison, bro.
Yeah.
25 to life
So
right there.
Farrar then testified that Kopechne's body was pressed up in the car in the spot where the air bubble would have formed. He interpreted that to mean that she had survived in the air bubble after the car was submerged. And he concluded, had I received a call within 5 to 10 minutes of the accident occurring and was able, as I was the following morning, to be at the victim's side within 25 minutes, in such an event, there was a strong possibility that she would have been alive on the removal of the submerged car.
Yeah, because you can't.
He
when you get in a
believed
car
that
crash,
she
you don't-
lived at least 2 hours.
Dude.
Wow.
Oh my god.
He says, I believe that she lived for 2 hours.
So while he was sitting on the bridge, he was.
That's what I'm
Is she
saying.
actually dead, bro? Like, hopefully she's.
That's
Yeah,
what I'm
she's
saying.
like down there trying to gasp her last breaths. Like, that's
Oh,
bad.
dude.
That's bad.
Isn't it bad?
That's
oh, this
bad.
is so bad.
It's really
This
bad.
is like disgusting.
I know. Okay, so, and then one last really, I mean, there's a little tiny bit more, but essentially, so the body was moved from Massachusetts to Pennsylvania, where the Kopechnes lived, and it didn't undergo an autopsy. Okay?
The family paid off.
So the
Mhm.
official cause and the time of death never determined.
This is bullshit,
all?
dude. If that was my kid,
No.
What?
there is not amount of money you could pay me to, dude. I would.
know.
Kennedy's gonna fucking fry. I want to
Yes.
see him. I want to hang him. Like I want to be there. Like
Yes.
he's done. He's done.
So right before he did his TV statement that we talked about,
Yeah.
he pled guilty to misdemeanor of leaving an accident.
oh my god!
Slap on the wrist. Slap on the
Out
wrist.
of here. He's like, I played the misdemeanor.
So by
Drinking at
doing
party.
that, he also kind of removed himself from being charged for negligent manslaughter. Because
Oh, that's
at
just-
a minimum, you would think that you would get negligence manslaughter.
Oh yeah, it's
100%.
right. Yeah, 100. Dude, motherfuckers who were driving drunk and get people killed in the car go to prison for life. I'm saying for life.
Wow.
Yeah.
Because
That's true.
You were
That's very
knowingly
true.
driving a
I
vehicle.
didn't know that
under
was
the-
true.
under
Like
the-
they would just get manslaughter
No,
in a
if
few
you're-
years or
If you're driving
whatever.
a vehicle knowingly under the influence of alcohol, you knowing you're not supposed to be.
Yeah,
doing
you're gonna
that,
get manslaughter.
Like, no.
Yeah, but that's
You
not
get-
life.
No, you get murder. That's
Oh,
not manslaughter, bro. It's felony murder.
Really?
Look
Really?
it up. Look it up. You get felony murder.
Wow.
Like if you kill your passengers while you're driving drunk, it's felony murder. Yeah, it's not manslaughter.
But that's also
if it's a
that's
regular
also today.
No, if
today,
it's a,
maybe
if
not
it's
back
a,
then.
If it's a regular accident and you're not drinking or whatever, yeah, it's
Yeah.
manslaughter. Like it's an accident.
Yeah.
Like you can't. You're not liable for that. What are you supposed to do?
Again, nowadays, maybe not back
Nowadays,
then.
maybe back then they were like, if you only had half a gallon, it's manslaughter.
So just a couple quick points, right? Is Kennedy would claim that he was sober and he never had any drinks.
Oh,
so
come
these
on.
homies, these guys just cleaned up the Airbnb.
oh yeah.
And they cleaned it all up. And he's
We
like,
didn't procure any alcohol.
Yeah.
What's that about?
Meanwhile,
Airbnb.
fucking
It's
meanwhile,
spritz.
Simmons like later says all that booze receipt. You know.
4 bottles of rum and
So Kennedy claimed that he
4
was
gallons.
sober. He was fully sober, and he was driving around 20 miles an hour when he hit the bridge,
No.
which is
no
reasonable,
Way. No way.
right?
that's impossible.
He claimed that he
Impossible.
didn't see the bridge until he was nearly upon it.
Yeah,
he should have been able to see it. The theory or the conspiracy is that he was going much faster,
Oh, 100
Yes.
million %.
much faster,
Yes.
right?
I mean, come on. You're going 20 miles an hour. You hit the brakes. You're at zero.
Yes.
Instantly.
Yes.
You're just instantly not moving. There's
Yes.
no out of control. You just stop.
Yeah.
He's going 40, right?
At least.
Dude,
45.
I'm
Yeah.
thinking
40
like,
to 50.
I'm thinking,
you know,
50.
somewhere
I'm thinking
around there.
50, bro.
Okay, so there was an attorney named Dennis, and he continually petitioned to try to get the body exhumed and an autopsy done because he disclosed that the mortician said there was blood on the sleeve
Ooh.
and blood in the nose.
Saucy.
So, but the judge in Pennsylvania held a hearing on October 20th, and the Kopechne family said it wasn't necessary.
Yeah, because Joe Sr. was like, listen, I can't have this happen to my son.
Literally,
it's my last
literally, the
moments of
family
the dead.
said against the exhumation, saying that there was no evidence that anything other than drowning had caused the death of Mary Jo Kopechne.
Okay, first, like, fuck her parents.
So they were
Mary
never, no autopsy, no cause of death, no.
I'm
no
actually
crazy.
more pissed off at Mary Jo's parents
Yes.
than I am at him. I'm actually more pissed off at them.
Yeah.
Like, you pieces of shit. Like, you're not going to look out for your little girl? Are you crazy?
I know.
I would burn the fucking planet down for my kid. Are
I didn't
you
like it
kidding
either.
me?
Yes.
I didn't like it either.
That's fucking bullshit.
So Dennis chose not to prosecute for manslaughter because he was not able to do the autopsy.
That's so
Right?
fucking disgusting.
The Kopechne family did not bring any legal action against him, but they did recognize a payment
Oh, see, there we go.
Ah.
of $90,904 from him personally and $50,000 from the insurance company. So they received $140,000.
Oh,
which
see,
at
but
that time-
see, back in the day,
Back
so it's probably like 2 million.
7 times.
Yeah,
We
seven.
did that.
Seven?
We did that
How much
math.
money? 140 times 7? Yeah, it's over. It's like $1.2 million.
Yeah, or
you
700. No, I mean, oh yeah,
What?
eight.
No.
$1.4 million.
Yeah.
$1.4 million.
Yeah. So
That'd be 10x.
No, so he said
Not
he said by
7.
7.
Yeah.
7.
The Kopechnes
seven-
later
7 times
explained
one
their-
little
over a
four.
mil.
Yeah, it's over a mil. Yeah.
The Kopechnes later explained their decision not to take legal action by saying, "We figured that people would think we were looking for blood money."
I'd just be looking for blood. Fuck the money.
Mm.
I don't give a shit about the money. I want blood.
So then Judge Boyle released the following findings in his report. He said death probably occurred between 11:30 p.m. and 1 a.m.
That's a massive window.
Kennedy and Kopechne did not return to Edgartown at the time. Kennedy did not intend to drive to the ferry slip, and his turn onto Dyke Road had been intentional.
Mm-hmm.
A speed of 20 miles an hour, as Kennedy testified to, operating the car as large as an Oldsmobile would at least be negligent and possibly reckless. If Kennedy knew of this hazard, his operation of the vehicle constituted criminal conduct. Earlier on July 18th, he had been driven over 3 times by his chauffeur. Kopechne had been driven over 5 times the day before.
So she would have been like, "This is the wrong turn, bro.
Yeah.
like you're
So
making a wrong turn."
He goes on to say, "I believe it probable that Kennedy knew of the hazard that lay ahead of him, but that for some reason, not apparent from the testimonies, he failed to exercise due care as he approached the bridge. I therefore find there is probable cause to believe that Edward Kennedy operated this motor vehicle negligently, and that such operation appears to have contributed to the death of Mary Jo Kopechne." But because of his quote unquote, per the judge, stellar driving record, he gave him 2 months community service.
Oh my, his stellar driving record. He never drove. He had a fucking chauffeur. I would have a stellar driving
So I'm not even
record.
kidding. So Ted Kennedy got 2 months.
For murder.
No, but
Fucking-
not in prison. So that was about all he got. Ted Kennedy then became he tried to run for presidency in 1980, and he lost to Jimmy Carter. And this kind of
course
thing,
he did.
like,
Rightfully so.
this thing
Yeah.
kind of hung over him forever.
Well, yeah, because he,
Of
'cause
course.
he knew what he did.
Yeah. But he became a senator for Massachusetts for 47 years.
This is ridiculous.
Really?
They called him the
Okay.
Lion of the Senate.
And this is why I don't trust politicians.
He died.
100%.
That's why I
Isn't
brought
that
up
crazy?
in the Freemason episode. The
Yes.
fucking politicians with their piece of
Yeah.
shit.
Isn't that crazy?
Was he a Freemason, by the way?
Probably.
Like, I would like to know that.
It's crazy. So he was a member of the Democratic Party 47 years and
That's a long
part of the
time.
Senate. And then in 2009, he died.
Oh,
2009. Okay.
2009. So he was one of the last Kennedys to hold office.
But see, this is the quintessential problem with American politics is you can literally kill somebody and
The rules don't apply
you're
to them.
still allowed to make the laws of the land. If you're rich enough, it actually doesn't matter.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter.
But here's what's crazy is if it didn't happen,
The chick could be alive. I don't know.
Been president. No, of course.
okay.
Yeah,
He actually
Mary
might-
Jo
you're saying-
Kopechne aside.
He
like,
might have actually been president. You're right.
I mean,
Do you-
Robert Kennedy would have been
Now,
president.
do you think that was a big factor
Yes.
in him not being president? No,
Yes.
was it? Do we know? Do we have any data if it was brought up in the
was
the
brought up a
election?
lot.
Okay, it was
Yeah, it was
okay.
brought up
I
a
wasn't
lot.
sure.
Yeah, it was brought up a lot.
They covered it up with his power, and simple as that.
I would just like to say for the record,
everybody else helped him out and conspired in cleaning or
Scrubbing it.
scrubbing it and whatever, right? And so that's it. Simple.
Well, there's one conspiracy theory that was interesting to me, which was that Mary Jo got drunk.
well, I think they were all drunk. I mean,
For
let's,
sure.
let's just say
Yeah,
that
yeah.
out loud.
Yeah.
They were all drunk.
There was
Like,
definitely
that's
booze.
100% booze.
100. All
There
of
was
us all disagree.
booze.
There was booze there.
There was
Okay.
fucking booze.
So they're drunk.
So one theory is that Mary Jo got drunk and went and told somebody that she was going to lay down in the backseat of the car. And then she went and laid down in the backseat of the car. And then Ted, in a drunken stupor, was like, I'm going home, bro. I don't want to be here anymore. I'm going home. And he went, drove the car,
Oh, and killed her.
Crashed
He didn't
it.
even know she was in there.
crashed it, didn't even know she was in there.
Well, see, no, see,
No.
I
In
don't.
the back seat, but then was like, "Oh, you are in here."
See, I don't believe
So-
that.
so why
because,
would he
it's
park?
so elaborate. It's so
Yeah,
elaborate.
and why would they park?
Yeah.
Yeah,
You know, when the sheriff spotted
Exactly.
them.
Yeah. What,
No,
and they fucking.
they're getting
no.
down. They
Okay.
both left drunk. They're trying to get it on, right?
Of course.
And then the sheriff comes and they're like, "Oh shit, we got to get out of here." So then he's like, "Oh, I'm gonna make a
kinda
right."
makes
then it's
sense,
like, then it's
though.
like, oh shit, it
Oh,
got
kinda makes
skirt out of
sense.
here.
Yeah, I'm gonna make a right turn instead of a left turn, and then he just had an
She was just
accident.
scared and
Yeah.
whatever.
Well, see,
Well,
like,
he's
it's,
fucking
it's a
drunk
common
driving,
theme in the
yeah.
Kennedy household.
Yeah, 6 boiler room girls.
Boiler room girl.
All of them are not wed to the 5 males that are there.
I mean, that's the thing. I mean, there's probably. I mean,
Like that's
just.
suspect.
I mean, boiler
Suspect.
Room, just the fact that they're called the boiler room girls.
Yeah,
I mean, it sounds like memoirs of a geisha.
I got you. I got
Yeah.
you. So you're saying the boiler room girls?
I think the boiler room girls were the
Side
flirt.
sides?
They were the side flirts, and like it was kind of a known about thing, and like they went there, and they were all kind of come on. I mean, it's the '60s, bro. You've seen Mad Men. I mean, come on.
Yeah.
It's just the way it is. Like it's
Yeah.
true. They were
Yeah.
drinking vodka, and they were boning their assistants.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I'm not trying to be rude or crude. It's just the truth.
that's it.
All right. They should not have been in that position, regardless of anything. So here's my theory. I looked a lot into Mary Jo Kopechne. Now, Mary Jo Kopechne was a pretty rad chick. Now, here's my theory. My theory is that she got drunk.
Okay.
He got drunk.
Oh, for sure. 100%.
Like,
Yeah.
like super duper drunk.
Angry drunk.
Drunk enough for a Kennedy to drive a vehicle.
I know.
I mean, that's pretty high.
you gotta be
Yeah,
so
it's
drunk.
pretty high. Yeah.
No,
It was like blackout.
I know the chauffeur, sir. I'll
Yeah.
take you. He's like, no, fuck off.
Yeah. So then he drove with her. He coaxed her into the car. He had her park, tried to make the move. You know what I mean? The move, right?
Under the
Yeah.
blouse.
Yeah. Like, and it was maybe a little too aggressive.
And she was like, sir.
A little inappropriately
Sir.
aggressive.
Okay.
Yeah? Then sped off because Sheriff, what's his face?
Yeah,
was there,
Sheriff fucking
right? Then
Barnaby.
crashed it like a donkey.
Oh, because he was freaking out. Like,
Yeah,
oh,
She was like
shit.
frantic
like a-
drunk driving.
And then was a low responsibility piece of shit
Oh, yeah, makes sense.
and just let her die.
I mean, I can see that. I can actually see
You know
that.
what I mean?
I can see that theory, though. Oh, man.
Here we go. Where are we at?
Okay,
Yeah.
so here's
What are we at?
Here's what I think happened.
Yeah.
I think this. I'm gonna walk you through the timeline here.
Yeah.
So they're at the party. Mary
Yeah.
Jo's like, Ted, I'm not feeling well. I gotta talk to you. He's like, all right, babe, what's up? So they go outside, He's like, let's just go for a drive. He's thinking he's about to get laid.
Yeah.
He's thinking
Honestly.
he's like,
Yeah.
So they go driving. So they're driving. She tells him that she's pregnant with his kid.
So complicated.
Damn.
No, I'm telling you.
You had me until
Yeah,
No,
yeah,
no,
you
yeah,
had
yeah.
me until, right? Like
No.
Yeah,
No,
I'm
like,
lost now. Like,
No,
yo.
You're not lost. No, I think Ted was clearly boning her before. She's pregnant, which is why she wasn't quote unquote feeling well, and like they thought they were going to go talk. So
yeah,
then
that's why she left her shit at the house.
She left the thing at the shit at the house. They go for a ride.
Okay.
He purposely turns down the wrong road,
right.
and then he's okay. I can't have a kid out of wedlock. I already have a wife who's having a kid. He guns it, dips off the thing. Bam! Somehow he gets out. Either that, or he somehow gets out and leaves her there to die. And then, then he's like, you know what? I'm out.
I'm not dealing with it.
Yeah, I can't.
It's too much.
I think he was partying, and like you said, he's like, hey,
Bad things
let's
happen.
go outside. Let's have a little chat.
So you're on board with the.
Shawty.
Oh, I'm on board with
You-
Sean.
He was trying to do some weird shit.
No.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Jorge doesn't think that she was pregnant, but he thinks that he was trying.
So
to
he was
trying to
married.
fuck.
Yeah,
So
I don't
he
think
was
that
married.
part. I don't think the part of
He was definitely trying to fuck.
Oh, 100%.
100.
Come on now.
100.
We got all the guys' perspective.
No, it's
Yeah,
without a
like,
shadow of a doubt. I would bet my entire
Right.
my life that he was.
I would
It's
bet my
going
life.
down tonight.
Really?
Like,
Yes.
I would bet
Okay.
my life that he thought he was.
My life, you know, and
Or he might have had sex with her that night.
Yeah.
There was an hour missing.
There's no
between-
autopsy, so you don't know.
There was an
You
hour
don't know.
missing.
You know what I mean?
You don't know.
Like, you don't know what.
Between the time they left and the time that they encountered the sheriff, it's an hour missing.
Yeah.
On an island that's the size of my phone.
Actually, more, right? By the time
Could
they
have been
counted
more. We don't
Could have been
like
more.
because he got home at the hotel at 2 a.m.
Yeah.
So he left at 11:40.
But when did he
That's
encounter the
2.5
sheriff? Like
hours.
It's
12:40.
12:40.
Yes, exactly.
But they
That's right. That's
supposedly
when he-
left around
That's a
11:40.
lot of
And then,
time.
That's a
according
lot.
to his statement, they left at 11:15.
According.
Which makes it even more time.
Yeah.
Like,
And it's 2 miles. This is not
it's
like
2 miles.
we're not like heading down the
Like, I
the
could-
highway.
I could
You know
walk
what I
2
mean?
miles in
Yeah.
half the time it took for that shit to go down.
Yeah.
Like, so I.
By the way,
I definitely
It's
believe
super upsetting.
he.
right? Like
he-
Oh, yeah.
it's a horrible
he let
story.
her die. 100
Yes.
fucking percent.
I'm with you on that.
100%.
I'm with you on that.
I don't think he would have.
Whatever
I wouldn't
happened
have thought
ahead of
that
time.
she would have survived that, and she was down there trying to survive on that pocket or
Yeah.
pocket of air and this and that. Okay, fine, whatever. I mean, he definitely let her die down there.
Yeah.
You know.
I think we're all in agreement on
But the
that.
thing
like,
that doesn't.
like even if we disagree what happened ahead of time, we all agree
He fucking let her die.
he just let her die.
Wait, but why did he
like-
say? So you don't think they left? Like he's like, yo, let's just go chat in the car for a
I
second.
did hear one story that was kind of interesting to me, which was that he was trying to do what you're talking about, where he was trying to hit on her.
Yeah.
You know, whatever. And then he saw Huck. So like he pulled up to the sheriff. He
Mhm.
saw Huck.
Mhm.
And the theory is that he got out because he's like, fuck this. I'm Kennedy and I can't do this. And then he let her drive home and then she drove off the bridge herself.
And you believe that?
No, but see,
I thought it was interesting because
You're just saying that's a theory, but like, do you believe
it's a
it?
theory, but I don't know why he would say that. I don't really get that one because I don't know.
No, because
I don't
he
know.
was-
I don't know what happened. To be
no,
honest.
because if
I'm
that-
just
if-
fishing.
No, if,
I'm fishing.
No, because if that happened, why wouldn't he be like, she took the car?
Yeah, that's true.
Like,
Yeah,
and why
very
would he
true.
swim home?
That's very
Like, it's
true.
ridiculous.
I don't like that one.
See,
Yeah.
my thing that I also thought too, my other theory was that he wasn't in the car when it
At all?
crashed.
Period.
No, when it crashed.
Right.
Where was
Because, well, maybe he like knocked her out and then
What?
put a look at because here, no, just hear me out.
Wow.
If-
okay.
No, listen. If she supposedly
I didn't see
lived-
that one coming.
If she supposed listen to me, if she supposedly lived for 2 hours in this car, how did he get out but not her? If he had a way out,
Yeah,
how
no,
could,
absolutely.
It's not that he could close and lock the
Sure,
door
but
behind
why
him
did he
like
knock her out?
underwater.
Right,
but
right.
like, it's
but why did he
impossible.
knock her out?
That's what I'm saying. I think she was pregnant with this kid. That's the only thing you think of. It's the only thing that makes sense to me.
I don't know.
No, it's the only thing that makes sense.
And he's mad.
No,
he's
listen to
like,
me.
he's like, fuck this shit and
No,
fucking
listen,
pop.
no, listen,
and then that's
it's,
it.
It's the only thing that makes sense. Like, I'm actually like logically looking at this.
Mm-hmm.
He was supposedly able to get out of the car,
Mm-hmm.
but she wasn't able to get out. Had an air pocket, could have lived for 2 hours.
2 hours. Yeah.
So how the fuck can he escape, but she not escape? But somehow she's able to. She's not. Buckled,
and then the blood.
She's not buckled in.
And the blood.
So she's
right?
able to go to the air pocket. So she's not buckled in. There's the blood, and the fact that
So she was hit. If the
Yeah.
blood thing's
is true, he could have easily been.
then he
knocked
hit her.
out, like put something on the accelerator, like hit the
Yeah.
accelerator, take it out, and like slam the door, and it goes down. He can jump in the water, get wet. Oh, yeah. Like.
Oh.
Oh my god! I tried.
Oh my god.
He wasn't ready.
Yeah, that's what it reminded me of.
So do you think? I don't know.
Dude,
I don't know the answer.
Otherwise, it's impossible.
It's crazy. It's a wild story.
'cause
Isn't
you
it?
can-
No, it is, but
you
everything
cannot-
points towards
Yeah,
him lying,
Yeah.
him involved, and him getting away with it.
'cause
That's
they
my
were-
take.
Dude, they were in 6 feet.
Everything points to
They
that.
were in 6 feet of water. If his window was open, she could have been like,
So-
and then like
So
swam out.
real quick. So why did she leave her keys?
I don't think she knew she was leaving.
Right.
I think he was.
Just want to go to the car.
I think
Yes.
I think he was like, hey, let's just take a quick drive. I want to talk to you.
I want to talk to you about
Touch
my
my dick.
feelings. Right? Like
Yeah.
what? No, I mean
No,
like all jokes
100%.
aside. But what's the line?
When I-
Right?
No, no, no.
When I was
Just-
getting-
just leave your stuff. We're just gonna go talk.
So then he gets away with it, or at least
Well, he totally gets away.
the
He
crew
does.
comes in.
How much you want to bet
The
he
crew
didn't even
comes
do
in.
the community service?
Yeah, for
Mm.
sure.
Bet.
For
Bet
sure.
he did not even
For
do
sure.
it.
And like them suspending his license is whatever. He's like, he got a chauffeur. Like
They
he
don't
literally
drive
had
at
a
all.
guy who drives him around anyways. The same guy who should have been driving him in the first place.
Yeah.
Yeah, so stupid.
Okay.
I'm just wondering. So then the rest of his life, he just tried to make it up.
Yeah, I think he was trying to make amends. I think he was
Yeah.
actually trying to be a good person
Yeah.
to make up for what he did.
Which kudos on that. But
for
you know,
sure. But you're still a piece of shit.
yeah.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
It's like Hitler. Like the Hitler was like, "I'm just trying to do right." And we're like, "You still
Can you
suck
imagine-
balls. I hate you."
Can you imagine
Like,
Hitler trying to do right for the next 40
He
years?
can.
No,
47
He
years.
they'd be like, "Fuck you." You
Yeah,
suck balls.
Kennedy did 40. I know we're comparing that. It's
not really apples to apples.
Yes, it's not the right comparison, but all right. So
We're all in
essentially,
agreement here.
yeah, essentially,
Yeah.
Ted.
Ted's a piece of shit.
This might be the first one we're all in agreement.
This
Yeah.
is probably the only
I
one
know.
we'll
Yes.
ever be in.
I know.
Holy crap.
So what should he have?
No.
What should he have done?
Wait, I think we were all in agreement on Shakespeare.
Yeah, we were.
Oh, yeah,
yeah,
we all-
Shakespeare
we all,
was.
we all agreed.
that
on
was fishy.
That was
Yeah.
sketchy.
That
was
I didn't-
fishy.
I did not know about that either.
Yeah.
That was
Yes.
super sketchy.
Yeah. Oh, I know. But what? Last thing. What should he have done?
Stopped at the goddamn
I
fire
know, but-
station.
Minimum.
Minimum.
And then not swam home.
I know.
But
like,
then,
fucking call the cops,
because he's
call
not going to
somebody.
be charged, right? If he calls,
Dude, the thing is, like, he didn't even
Right?
call. He didn't even call the cops back at the Airbnb.
I know. And then he had breakfast. He had
And
the
then
eggs
he-
Benny.
Yes.
He had eggs Benny. And then
No,
and like
come
a
on now.
conversation about sailing.
it's true.
Right.
How's this regalia?
And then he makes a statement that I immediately called the cops after breakfast.
Okay.
Immediately.
But if he reported it, what would he have gotten?
I don't know.
Meaning like
mean-
if he stopped at the fire station and he was like, hey,
Maybe
no.
just nothing.
No,
Maybe
nothing.
manslaughter.
The same
Maybe
thing?
it's like
No.
maybe it's just an accident. Like maybe
I
it's
think
just the same thing.
that he got.
He would have got the
Just
same thing that he
less
got, just less
suspicion.
sketchy. Yeah, like,
Exactly.
less
all
sketchy.
right. Okay.
You know?
Just more believable.
Yeah.
Now,
All right.
I get it. And I also put yourself in his shoes. You know, you're gonna try to hide. You're gonna try to.
I know.
You know,
I know.
cover this up.
I
You're
know.
Kennedy.
Do you know how much
Yeah.
CSI I watch, bro? Like, dude, trying to cover it up is idiot. It's the fool move.
Okay, but
I would try to make it look
but
as much
you're
as an accident
Kennedy
as
back in
possible.
the
I know.
60s.
It's
No,
true.
but you're a Kennedy trying to make it look as big of an accident as possible.
I know.
It was an accident,
It's true.
and then you get the pity play when you run.
That's
for
what
governor.
we're saying.
He's
Like, you
he's-
report
I
it.
was in the car with my assistant. It was so sad. Oh my god! They're like, I'll vote for him. Kennedy.
But that's what me and Eric is saying. Like, you report it as soon as you
Yeah.
can.
No, I think I see you.
He's saying he would be careful as a Kennedy, and he'd be trying to
I would be
like
Yeah, right. I see the look in your eye. I see the glint in your eye. Piece of shit.
All right, well, guys. So if you wanted to check out more, a lot of this research was taken from Chappaquiddick, Power, Privilege, and the Ted Kennedy cover-up. It's a 900-page book. If you were so inclined to read about it,
Or if you're like me, there's a movie about it.
Yeah.
You should watch that.
it's called Chappaquiddick.
Or
Yeah.
audiobook.
Yeah.
It's
all right.
I prefer audiobooks.
It's all right.
Movie.
Yeah. It's all right. This audiobook is 72 hours, so
Woo!
you're so inclined.
No.
If you're so inclined.
Yeah.
All right, guys. We'll catch you next time.
Thanks a bunch, guys.
Thanks for listening, guys.
Thanks for
Thanks for
watching our
us
words.
Listen.
Night night.
Night night.
Hey guys, hope you enjoyed the show. If you want to reach out to us, please email us at info@theconspiracypodcast.com. You can check us out on Instagram at @conspiracypodcast. Also, don't forget to subscribe. You can catch a new podcast almost every week. Just hit the little subscribe button at the top. It's a plus sign. We love show ideas, corrections, hate mail. Thanks a bunch.